Welcome everyone to Price Action Live at TradersPost for January 23rd, 2026. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike, enemy of the good, Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. Today's stream is brought to you by Blue Sky, the best-in-class prop firm that offers same-day activation, daily payouts, and no max restrictions. Visit bluesky.pro and sign up for your first prop firm account today and trade futures like never before. Use coupon code WELCOME26 to get 50% off your launch plan account for first-time subscribers. It's PMI Day. It's PMI Day. Yay. Does that mean the
I
market's
get
just going
pumped
to go
about that
up?
day every week.
Right.
It's kind of a non-starter. Like, who cares? Report though.
Yeah,
Came
does
out
it move the
flash.
markets?
Nah, not really. It's not as important as some of the other days.
Well, it's never a surprise, right?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, from the open, we got 4 minutes till. Let's review some levels here. I did see we had this pullback from our overnight R1, the 25,700 level. Couple of areas of confirmation there too, right below the resistance band. And we did indeed pull back and are now testing support at 25.6 again. So this is sort of a key range here between 25.6 and 25.8 or 25.700, wherever you wanna call it. As you guys know, I do remain pretty fuzzy on the boundaries of my support and resistance areas because there's no such thing as a perfect price point. So I think we'll probably come up here to about 740 if we get a bounce from the open. Tom, you said you're already short though?
yeah, well, my automated strategy took a short, and I was already short this morning. I wish I was short from 25,781. I'm actually
That's a good
curious
spot.
why we're not there, why we didn't get there yesterday or in the overnight.
Right.
This high here of 25,736, the high of the overnight, and then like yesterday's high, and then the high of the previous overnight. I don't get what's going on over there. That's the daily. Actually, let me pull it up over here. That's the daily VWAP level.
Mm-hmm.
So right here is where we topped off, and then we topped off again. So I'm just surprised we haven't actually gone here to hit this level. So I want to be long up to there. They're short, but if markets want to go short here, fine, because we are currently underneath yesterday's VWAP level. So writing this down to 25,283 seems like a
yeah. I've got next stop at 417, which would confirm the upward regression trend,
right.
and a previous support band that was previously resistance back here on January 20th and January 19th. So if we break that 418, I'm with you on that next price point.
Right, but I'm neutral on my trends, so for me, it can go either way. I feel just as comfortable going long here as I would be going short.
Got it. Yeah, I think I'm a little more bullish than I am bearish. I'm expecting a bounce here from S1, but let's take a look at it. Hey, Jarmo. Hey, Ben Blue. How are you guys?
All right, what's silver doing? Bitcoin is just, forget it. What is going on? I have a poly market bet that Bitcoin gets to 80,000 before it gets to 100,000. And I would not be surprised to win that bet. It is not moving at all.
At all. All right, taking a look at Bookmap. I see this rally. There's a lot of bids right below here too at 595, 590, 57. There's a huge lot at 575. So it does look pretty bullish straight from the open in terms of buyers supporting the other side. I don't see a ton of sell pressure on the top of the books. So a little bit at 625, a lot more at 650. So there's some room to go here.
Yeah. So if you had to take a trade here, you would go long.
I'd wait for a pullback here just a little bit, maybe down to 597, and I'd go long. But I'm going to wait for the open here. One more minute. Hey, Aventura, happy Friday. Is it Friday? What?
I did not even realize that. Like last night, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. there's that 597 pullback. Buyers supported the level. Wow, look at that launch. So there was an uncountable gap there, and it's already filled.
Right.
That starts to form the bounce from S1. Hey, Peter.
Oh, silver is pulling back.
Lots of opening volume. Plenty of buyers continuing to lift the offer. Peter, when are we getting you on the show, by the way? When are we going live with you trading with us?
He's too scared. He's a scaredy cat. Can't do it.
Tom said he would back you up. Like, he'll give you your confidence.
Yeah, that's what I do to Peter. It's funny. I like teasing him, but he's my favorite person.
Oh, we know. If we didn't think that, Tom, we'd be very concerned about the way you treat each other.
All right, silver's pulling back. Nasdaq's going up. So what? It's gonna be good PMI news that's leaking. Wait, good news. What's gonna move the market? If the economy is doing well, does the market go up or down?
That is the question. I'm sure it's going to come in as expected, and it'll be kind of a nothing burger.
Peter says he ain't
yellow.
yellow. Yeah, the thing about, like, we talked about it yesterday. Like, I just love being in a trade right at open and just not have to think about it again.
Yeah. The opening drive is always pretty fun if you're on the right side of the trade. Otherwise, you're going to get stopped out immediately.
Right. But I usually get into that trade at 8:30, not at 9:30.
Well, in relative terms, this is actually kind of a very dull and quiet opening drive. Not nearly as big of an ATR open as we've seen in the last couple of days, especially January 16th, last Friday. So that actually is promising. That means it's going to feel a little bit better to get into a position and not get stopped out right away. Lots of resistance here at 625, and historically that was a pretty important price point. POC is registered at 623 now for today's session, and we had yesterday's POC at 670. Right back to S1 and below VWAP for the open. On the cloth, good morning.
All right, let's see if I can use silver here to pass an eval.
Mm, 175 points.
Mike was talking about AI projects before the show, like using AI tools to create things. And I'm in a situation where I feel like I wish I could spend any time whatsoever on the music side of AI, because it's just, it opened up just a whole new vein of things. And I feel like it's passing me by because I have no time to touch it whatsoever, like none. You coming from a music background, do you feel like you wish you had this before, or they get time to deal with it? Because you must not have any time either.
I don't have any time, which is why I haven't spent a lot of time on design in a while, like making anything, because I usually don't have nearly enough time to spend on it, and it does require a lot of like deliberate effort, right?
Right.
So I haven't done any dev work, but just in the last 6 months or so, I've done more dev work than I think I've done in the last 5 years. So, and it's largely because Claude just keeps going and going and going. If you saw that guy I was telling you about on Twitter, who's just like he's like DJing and he's like doing push-ups in his room. He's got multiple Claude code instances open and he's just running all kinds of stuff. He's gonna keep running day and night until he makes $1 million from Claude code. And I think the ambition is wonderful.
I love it so much. We're the new golden age.
All right, third candle into the open here, and I see that we're about to close below VWAP, but we're right on that S1 line, which was confirmed support before the market and before open. I'm not convinced we're going to keep going down, but I'm ready for it. All right, I guess it's going. Uh-oh, I messed up. Great.
Strategy wasn't on?
No, I couldn't get the signal price. There we go. Actually, that was almost better. Got a little bit better of an entry price.
All right, trying a silver long here. Got a nice wick from before, and when there's a nice wick on silver, it usually launches afterwards.
Yeah. I knew I shouldn't have liked it there.
Odd reversed?
Yeah, immediately. I don't like taking shorts off of big support levels.
Right.
Where's the music today?
Oh, you can hear it? I'm hearing it. Some funk happening right now.
Yeah, no funk. I'm mad at Claude because he has been terrible working in pivots for trend direction. Hit limits with it just in that one part. Yeah, it's tough. I found with this project I'm working on for TradersPost here, the command pad as we're calling it. It takes a lot of work to prompt and to really be specific about what you're looking for. Wow, I like barely got wicked or like barely got stopped out here. So this is now
you got stopped out?
winner. No, I didn't get stopped out. Sorry, let me clarify.
Okay.
I think I was 5 points away from getting stopped out though.
Right.
All right, so this is starting to become a winner. All the accounts are set.
Get ready in 10 minutes for some potentially crazy action, though.
Fireworks.
You never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, fortunately, this trade has a nice trailing stop on it. We'll see what happens.
All right, silver. Good. Lock in some profits.
Man, I can't believe gold's run, though. That is crazy.
And it ain't going to stop.
And Bitcoin's sitting over here. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter how much we poke sticks at it. It's still not going to do anything, huh?
Well, I mean, it would be fine if gold and silver wasn't moving. The whole case for Bitcoin was that it was better than gold, and you can't say that now. So it's like, what do you do? My friend just messaged me yesterday. He's like, should I just sell all my crypto and put it into silver and gold? I was like, maybe.
Yep. All right, music's back. Question here: can you guys add profit and loss in TradersPost per trade? Yep, I've done that here. When I sent the signal over for this particular trade, let me actually show it to you in our signals panel. If you go to signals, you'll see my entry here, which includes the take profit of 150 points and a trailing stop of 50 points. And then I got some extra like parameters that I send over for my own analysis. And you can see that that entered 10 prop firm accounts on the same trade. Oops, dang it, I just closed. Ugh. There we go. All right, I'm not going to get a trade here, am I? All right, we're still below
But you're in a
VWAP.
short.
I'm still in the short, yeah.
Right.
9:45 PMI, yep, 5 more minutes. I've been having so many issues with TradingView alerts, it's ruining my P&L. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Wish I had a decent solution with the way you've set up automated strategies there. So that's in the webhook is the question. Yes, it's in the webhook request because I want control over the take profit dollar amount relative to price with each trade. But in your trading settings, you can edit your defaults and actually specify that your entry has a specific take profit amount and stop loss with every incoming signal. That means you don't necessarily have to put the take profit and stop loss in your JSON message. You can define it in your strategy settings and we'll attach it that way. There's always a relationship between the JSON message, which overrides the settings if you click allow signal override, and the actual settings in the strategy. So it just really depends on your preference in terms of how it should be done. For me, I want control. Well, I got stopped out of that trade, unfortunately. Should be a small loss.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, about $60. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so 2 attempts at closing below VWAP and a complete reversal on the other side. That kind of confirms this is the S1 line now. As I'm looking at the 2-hour chart, I can see that we're starting to post above the band. We've got about 18 minutes left in this 2-hour chart. I'm ready to turn around and go the other direction, Tom.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm neutral. I got no trade here.
About 1:41 I'll wait, and then I'll see if this candle closes above. I see some sellers at 637, about 36 contracts at 637.50, a little bit more at 650 as well.
Is Claude better than ChatGPT? I only use ChatGPT, never Claude. It's Claude Code.
Yeah,
Claude Code
to
is
be
much
specific.
better.
Yeah, I'm using the Claude Code plugin in Cursor, and I would argue Claude Code is light years ahead of ChatGPT. If you're just using the ChatGPT window, because then it's just a whole lot of like pasting code back and forth. Instead, Claude has access to your entire code base and can make modifications to the whole thing. Plus, it's aware of all the files that are in your code base. And then you can also create markdown files to instruct Claude on how everything works. And it has good context on how the infrastructure works, how the backend works, so on and so forth. So yeah, I would definitely say Claude Code is a lot better. Interesting. Glad I'm waiting this out. This is almost choppy here from the open. I thought we had a trend forming.
I don't think we can have a trend until we have the PMI data out.
I think it's what it is. Yeah, I'll wait it out then. Give it a couple more minutes.
That's right. Like every one of my time frames is neutral. So it's like, all right, I built these indicators for a reason. Listen to them, Tom. Just be long silver and be done with it.
All right, that's a close above VWAP now. Peter says Anthropic's Claude is not focused on chatbots, it's focused on infrastructure. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's definitely a developer's friend rather than just being more of a friendly chatbot. However, I still talk to it like a chatbot, and we make plans together too. I put it in plan mode, and we'll walk through an entire concept and make sure that I'm thinking about it thoroughly.
Right. The difference between Claude Code now than when it was like, because it started in July, June of this year. I mean, of last year. Hasn't even been that long.
Yeah.
It's so much better now.
It's getting better and better. Yeah, for sure. You got a question here from Ben Blue, Tom?
Tom, are you using Claude Code UI in VS Code or only CLI Claude or both? I love the UI version because you can see images you paste, but it struggles with permissions unless I've missed something. And
PMI must have been good.
So I don't use the UI. I just use it in terminal inside of VS Code. I know you can use the Claude desktop app in order to do the same sort of things, but it's not up to where it needs to be. So I'm waiting a few months before. But I just like being in the terminal. All right. So what was PMI? We had it at
Seems positive.
52.5, so flat. Okay, so that's positive. That means the Fed can cut. Did the odds go up or down? Let's see. Fed Watch tool.
On the cloth jokes, we make plans together. Sounds serious. No. I'm serious about it. Like, not let's take over the world plans. Maybe someday. But certainly, when it comes to developing, sometimes you really need to think about the implications of the decisions that you make. You know, I've done this enough times in 25 something years in engineering, where you don't want to make bad design decisions and infrastructure decisions early on because it's hard to correct from them. So a lot of times I'm just spending time prompting with Claude about how the schema should be developed, where the data is going to live, how it should be retrieved and saved to the database, and then how it should be presented. Last night, I probably spent an hour just on a design element, one design element, just in the prompt alone.
All right, so the odds for a rate cut or pause have not changed. So PMIs didn't really affect anything.
Mm-hmm.
As expected.
Ooh. Peter's asking a really good beginner question. What is the best asset to trade for a beginner? What's your take on that, Tom?
I mean, I think crypto, because you could have the smallest of the denomination. You could trade $5 if you want to. So I would do, and then the fees are a percentage of what the volume you're trading as opposed to a flat. So I would say that. I would say I started with penny stocks, but that I think is the worst place to start.
Yeah, don't trade penny stocks. That's a terrible idea. If Peter's going to be doing prop firm accounts, which it sounds like he is, then I would suggest ES, not ES, excuse me, MES specifically, the micro version of the S&P 500 stock index futures contract. And the reasoning for that is it's fairly easy to understand. Yeah, I should be in a short. I just got stopped out on that trade, so it's looking a lot. It's even more choppy this morning. Gosh darn it! I'm still getting used to this split view, and I keep exiting the window. Let's try that again.
Just give me 1 second here.
Yep. Tight stop with that short. Yeah, that's probably smart. This is a little bit of a rocky open here. But yeah, Peter, I would definitely try to stick with something like MES because it doesn't move very quickly. It's fairly easy to understand what drives equities. You know, the main economic calendar days, of course, you could avoid up front. But it moves in a fluid way, in a sort of trending based way, to where if you can see the chart in terms of direction and trend, it's easy to get into a position and not just get stopped out right away. NQ and MNQ are a little bit harder to trade. It moves a little more than ES and MES. The price action is quicker. It can be more volatile because it's largely made up of these big tech stocks.
But for a beginner, you would you recommend they open up a futures account or do it through prop firms, trade those assets?
Prop firms for sure. You want to practice your ability to trade first. Maybe I would even just open a demo account with TradeView, throw a little money in a live account so they give you free market data, and then test that $50,000 demo account with TradeView for a while until you get used to the mechanics of getting in and out of positions. But more importantly, it'll give you the opportunity to actually hold a position overnight as well. One of the downsides with prop is that you're forced to play in this tiny window of time in which the odds are really kind of against you. Like the vast majority of people will not do very well day trading. It's tough to get in and out of positions with any level of edge. at least for me personally, I made a lot more money with swing trading, holding onto positions for 2 to 6 weeks at a time than day trading. I'm still trying to get better as a day trader myself. Yeah, I'd agree with that too on the cost. Start with a strategy that you're comfortable with. Don't trade without a strategy. You can't back test. You want some opportunity to understand where your edge is going to come from. With each trade that you take, even if you're holding for 6 weeks at a time, are you going to make more than you're going to lose? And that combination of your win rate and your profit factor is going to be important.
You can just also sign up for my trading course, which is $9.99 per month, and you'll become an expert trader in no time. You'll learn all the things you're not supposed to do. I'll teach you all that. You'll get that down pat. All right, so where's NASDAQ going? You're still neutral, 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 neutral. No trade.
I'm getting
nowhere.
annoyed. I got stopped out twice now. 0 for 2. Managed losses today, though. Only 156 bucks down.
All right, let's see if the third one could be a perfect swing.
The Vortex asks, are there any strategies in TradingView worth a look? Not in my opinion.
Nope.
They're really good for just understanding how to develop a strategy. You know, when you go through the built-in strategies that TradingView makes available, there's a lot of really popular ones you can kind of play around with, but many of these are just kind of loose trend-based trend following strategies, and they don't have a lot of concrete rules. It really is worth understanding your own view on the markets. I'm a huge fan of developing your own path. You need to decide on a market that you want to research, understand the mechanics of it, what drives momentum, why does volume show up and disappear, understand the order flow. In other words, you know, who are the participants, what's pushing price, then start to understand levels, and then build a strategy around where you think price will go and the reasons that will happen. I think you really have to dial in an understanding of the mechanics of the instrument you're trading. It's like when people move from NASDAQ to gold, they expect gold to kind of behave the same way, and it just won't. It's not going to do the same things. Crude oil is never going to do the same things as NASDAQ. Each asset and market is going to behave a little bit differently.
Even though I don't like fishing, to me, fishing is like the perfect analogy for what you're doing over here. The weather, the river, the fish that you're trying to go for, the lure, the mechanics of the whole thing, all that has nuances to it. And yeah, you need to, toss your hook into the water and see what happens. But where you can then dive into what you want to focus on can change wildly. Some other people will focus entirely or primarily on the location where they are. So they're going to fly out on a plane. They'll go do shark fishing or ice fishing up north, and other people will be like, "No, I just want to go to my local pond in order to catch some minnows." And so you'll find out where you want to spend your time and your effort once you actually get your hands in it and feel what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for someone to tell you, hey, you're going to find these 3 components of trading very interesting. Focus on that until you give it a shot. So for me, macro is like the most fun because they're long-term trades and you get into it and you're holding this thing for, 3 months, a year, 2 years. I like that type of trading. Whereas for someone else, they go, Tom, I could care less what the treasury in China is doing with the People's Bank of China. Like, don't talk to me about that anymore.
I'll give it a shot here, but I'm not convinced. We got a pretty big wall we got to get past, some selling orders to get past. Aventura says, I hate fishing, and Peter says, I've never fished. I think we're talking to the wrong crowd about fishing analogies. And also, I agree with you guys. I am not a big fan of fishing. My dad used to take me a lot. He's an avid fisherman, loves it so much, and I've just never caught that passion for it. It's too boring for me.
So I don't like fishing myself, but I love watching people fish online. because I just get to see the
You're
exciting
slimy
bits.
and smell bad thing. Yes, they are. That was always the tough part. My dad always wanted me to help him gut the fish and debone him and all that. And I'm like, absolutely not. Never going to happen. Give me gloves and like one of those boxes where they do operations and they have to be separated from the thing, like clean box. What are we doing here?
Wait until 10 for the trend.
That's what it is.
I mean,
The
it
trend
looks
is
like it's going to go up. Yeah.
that's what it looks like. I went ahead and bought the cross. It looks like it's pushing upward, and I like it from S1. I mean, this is a support zone. We should travel all the way up to 760 now.
Yeah. I think 781, but yeah, I agree.
You're wrong.
But from but from there, I don't know. Do I want to short from there? Because the dollar fell. I didn't even mention this at the beginning. The dollar fell, so that's like bullish.
It should be, right?
Yeah, the correlation between the dollar though
new
has been
lows
for the dollar, not yet.
Almost.
Well, we're still in that range that we've been
for
in
this
since
year.
like.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I see we're in that sideways range. We've been here for a little while. It's slowly been progressing upward though since July of last year.
Yeah, but isn't that that's a bear flag, right?
That's a bear flag. So this little pullback here will help for short-term rallies. But if we come back to 97 and push from there for the dollar, I don't know what that means for equities.
That's bad for equities. Real bad.
By I don't know what that means, it means I don't know how bad it gets.
Right. All right.
All right. Well, we're in a long. We're up a little here. It's continuing to do this choppy nonsense.
Neutral. Can't trade neutral.
So if I flip between the 5-minute and the 15-minute and then go to the hour view every now and then, personally, I do. I don't actually trade the 2-minute chart. I trade the 2-hour chart. I'm looking at where price action is arriving, where I think support's going to show up and where I think resistance is going to show up. And I want my trades to be in line with the levels that I think NASDAQ's going to travel to. I use the 2-minute chart for precision, just to make sure that I'm in at the right levels. I'm observing where price is relative to VWAP. All of this is specific to the way that NASDAQ behaves, though. It may not be the same exactly for MES, and it usually isn't. I haven't found personally that I trade MES as well as NQ. My stats are a lot better on NQ than MES, which is why I switched a long time ago. So you kind of have to spend several weeks just trading an instrument to understand what it does most days. I've been trading NQ now for the better part of 3 years, and I've gotten used to the way it behaves day in and day out. And it just takes a while for you to kind of dial in an intuition for the instrument itself. The other thing that you really want to gauge and understand on the higher time frames as well as the lower time frames is where is volatility showing up. I like to first use VIX as a gauge of the global volatility. Right now we're at 16, so I don't expect price to jump all over the place and go crazy. But the biggest indicator for me on the 2-minute chart is the ATR. I'm looking at the 14-period ATR as well as the 1-period ATR or 2-period ATR. And that's just telling me how fast is price moving, because there are zones that I don't want to trade in. I'm in a sweet spot right now where this is a good spot to trade in. I've given myself a range of ATR to pay attention to, but if it's too small, I don't want to trade in here. If it's too big, I don't want to trade up here either. It's just too choppy. I can get stopped out too quickly. So there is a sweet spot in terms of volatility as well.
And when it's too small, you mean like there's just not enough of a move to make it worthwhile?
That's right. Especially if it's choppy. You'll find these zones all the time where like there's no trade here. This is just choppy consolidation. You have to wait for this to kind of break out. And when ATR is extremely low like this, there's just not a trade in there. I wait until the next setup.
Unless you're an options trader, in which case you're selling options to collect volatility
sell premium there as much as possible. Got stopped out on the cross. Sorry to hear that, man. All right, finally, we're catching a trade here. I caught a fish, guys.
Peter says, so I flip between 5 minutes and 15 minutes, right? And then I go to the hour view every now and then. Yes, exactly, Peter. That's exactly it. He nailed it.
All right, this is good news. So looking back at the 2-hour chart, since like I said, I trade from the higher time frames, we've now gotten confirmation that we posted above the S1 band. And like I said, I want to see it travel to 760 now. We got to test this resistance line here at starting at a roughly 730. I see orders on the sell side at 700 right now. There's about 31 contracts there. And then there's a fairly larger lot at 737. So exactly where you'd expect resistance, the sellers are waiting.
How many legs are you at? The one leg, right?
Just the one. You've convinced me to stop messing around with multiple legs. I'm already in break even on this trade now too, so I'm just going to let it go. My stop loss is my take profit, Tom.
Yay! My nickname for Mike today was Enemy of the Good.
Not anymore. Don't call me that. Why did we title today's I Wish I Knew This Before?
I'm trying to do titles that are non-specific and emotionally charged because that seems to be the meta right now to get people to click.
Did it work for any of you? Did we have some new visitors today? I think we do.
I think so. Yeah.
Good questions here today, by the way. Thanks, guys, for participating.
It's funny. Mike is. You're a very good trader, and the only downside is that sometimes you work against yourself.
Yes, I am my own worst enemy, unquestionably.
Don't have a lack of information at all.
I think I have a good view of markets over the higher time frames for sure. It's been tougher to actually dial in an entry and exit approach that remains consistent without going on tilt. So my biggest objective is constantly just trying to avoid chasing and the revenge trading and the emotionality of discretionary trading,
Right.
which is so strange for me because I'm not an emotional person. I'm a pretty reasonable, rational person, except for this. It activates all of those animal spirits in me that's really tough to overcome sometimes. I've learned more about myself trading than anything else I've done in my life.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I did it. This is a good trade.
Awesome.
Up a few $100 on most of these accounts. Let's switch between. I'll show you guys the dashboard here. Yep, everything looking good.
So the second issue you have is the not holding your trade, right?
Yeah, it's the other thing I'm trying to get better about is just hanging on. Don't get out too early.
So let's say you get to seven. You were saying 761. Is that it?
Yes, I want to get to our R1 line, which is 760.
So what will you do there?
Wait to see how price action behaves because it could keep going.
Understood. So what's the pattern you're looking for to decide if it keeps going or if you close out?
What I should be looking at, Tom, is allowing it to retrace into the regression trend. So I'm measuring this out now. I'm going to go ahead and post it from the bottom wick of the session to the top wick of the session. The regression trend is telling me the boundaries of where price is going to go if this trend continues. And that means it could fall all the way down to 636 here and then bounce and keep going. I've got my stop, though, at 665. So if I want to keep holding this into the longer trend for the rest of the session, I may need to cancel my stop and then manually exit the position, or just let the stop carry itself all the way through. It's trailing by 50 points right now, which is plenty for this low volatility environment. So I'm kind of inclined to just let the trailing stop go or let my take profit hit and just not touch anything today.
So what I normally do in something like this, I don't know if it's like good or not, you'll let me know, is that I'll leave my stop to take my profit. Then if the price comes down, I set another buy order to get back into the position if the price comes back to where I am right now. as opposed to giving it more room.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's like good or not.
I've tried a few different things. The regression trend helps. I like the ATR based trailing stop. I usually am reminded very frequently that volatility is way farther away than I'm giving it credit for. Where is it?
My
What
strat
happened?
just gave an exit. Says I'm the cloth.
Oh, it got stopped out right away. That's what happened.
I took the price off the chart. It helps. Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard this. People take the price off the chart.
You mean taking your P&L off the chart?
I've seen people just take the scale. Even they just to not anchor on anything.
Oh,
They
just
just
follow
remove
what the
all
price action
numbers.
is doing?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. So let me add this back on. Hold on. There's a really good indicator on TradingView called trailing stop alerts that I like. And usually I'll put an ATR multiplier of 1 or 1.5 on it. And it will show me that if I were to hold this position just following by ATR alone, especially in these types of trending moves from one level to another, the ATR takes a while to really catch up with price. Interestingly, in most instances where I use this, it starts to follow the third standard deviation of the other side of the regression trend. So it if I just rely on the regression trend as my trend following strategy and hold on until we break the trend itself, then I think I can get a lot more out of the trade. What I tend to do though is I use like 8 EMA crossovers as an exit, and that usually is too sensitive and I get out too early. Sometimes I'll look at like yesterday's high as an exit and get out too early on that. So it's just tough. I'm still trying to play around with my exit strategy and
Nice.
retaining my position longer.
I'm the cloth says it's PNL that he takes off the chart.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I did ticks for a little while, but I really don't mind seeing the price P&L on my chart. I don't think that messes with me at all.
I use tick-based profit loss, going for 8 ticks on TradingView each way instead of dollars. Yeah, totally understand that.
All right, on the higher time frames, we are now starting to touch that zone that has me a little concerned because this has been, previous resistance, and we never actually got into the band. We've actually wicked below it. So I really want to pay attention right here because this could be the area where it's going to be hard to hang on to this trade.
How much of a trade of a position are you willing to give back? What percentage of a gain you're willing to give back if on a pullback before you exit?
That's the right question. If I had to speak in percentage terms, I probably get scared out at about the 20% mark. I could probably hold it for 50% and I'd be all right with it. But I think what I'm going to do in this case is stick with what I said earlier, and I'm going to let my trailing stop be my take profit.
Interesting.
Which would be, that's roughly 50% of the move. I would love to see another leg up here and another, drive up so that the regression trend moves above my current stop, but we'll see how that goes.
So if you lose 50% of the gain of a position, are you happy? Or are you like, damn, kicking yourself?
I'm
like
happy.
You're up and it retraces 50% and then you stop out. Are you like, well, I'm happy with this trade?
These days, Tom, I'm happy if I don't have a loss. So I'm okay with break-even stops too, which is actually like another feature I'm trying to build right now. I'm working with the team to get it to where you guys can send an action to set a break-even stop with an offset of a defined amount. So you can send a webhook and that would automatically cancel your open stop loss and reset it above your entry by, let's say, $2 or $5 or whatever you have defined. The Claude says, I don't get notification from you guys. I keep missing your afternoon shows.
Oh, really? And you have the bell turned on for the YouTube subscriptions?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Have you back tested that theory, Mike? Sorry, man. I feel like I just explained like a few different theories here. Can you clarify which one?
Oh, look at that. Being long silver is working. Who would have thought?
Not I, said the guy who says it's overbought.
It's not
Still looking.
stopping until China stops buying. That's why I like macro themes.
Ooh, there's the $100 mark. Look at that.
But when China stops, it's going to be boom. That's it. Top.
The Claude says, "Yep, bell on." Not sure why he's not getting notifications. We're sending them, right? When we go live, doesn't it send
Yeah.
a notification?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey.
Like drop. Thanks.
Aventura likes the break even feature. Good. Glad to hear it. I think a lot of people would appreciate that one. It's definitely been a savior of mine to manually have to move the break even, but I want the automation. I want to be able to just send an action and it goes across all the prop firm accounts.
Right. All right. So how do you feel about ending it here, Mike?
Yeah, I think we found a good trade. We finally found a trend. Sounds like news was good, and we're going to come back and test this R1 level here. Do you think we should show these guys a little sneaky preaky of
Yeah, it looks great. It looks
new Chrome extension? So I want to show you guys what I was working on last night. Now that everybody's here, I know I've been talking to you about this Chrome extension we're building, which will allow you to send your signals to TradersPost, have your strategies predefined, and then have some buttons predefined with your different types of execution commands as well. And we're calling this the TradersPost command pad. Let me show you what this looks like. This is still a work in progress. We got some work to do to add some features to this, but I can show you at least kind of the design elements that we've been working on. So what you can see here is this is now a command pad that can, let me refresh this page. I got to keep an eye on my trade at the same time. This keypad will basically keep an eye on the trade that you want to enter on. And I can send a webhook URL to my demo strategy. Inside the settings here, I'm able to define my webhook URL. I can define some custom functions, and then I can make a button for each one of my execution types, and I can give it a color as well. But there's a screen here that will allow me to define my ticker. It grabs the incoming signal price from Tradevate, and then I can give it my entry a score and kind of describe my setup if I want to as well. And then I can execute by hitting a buy or sell short. I can add multiple buttons for different types of entries. Maybe I want to exit half of my position. Maybe I want to put a limit order on or a market order. Maybe I want to exit everything or just exit half of my position. And then I also have a lockout feature where I'm able to specify that for the next, 1 hour, or in this case, 1 minute, I can lock out of this whole thing and then no executions can be sent. I have to wait for this to become unlocked. So this is kind of what we're thinking. We want to make it to where you guys have a simple, sort of old school Bloomberg style command pad to send your trades off to TradersPost.
Nice dose of nostalgia to soothe my weary bones when I make a bad trade. I like it. This looks so good. Look at that. Oh my God.
All right. Is this the end of this trend or what?
This is the part.
This is the part. This is where I struggle, Tom. It just looks real. I think you found the topish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and exited. I'll take the profits there. That'll pull me out of the red for the day. And I think we had a good session here. Well, cool. Glad Aventura thinks it looks awesome. We'll keep working on the Chrome extension. We'll get that launched in the store as soon as possible. And you guys won't have to wait much longer. We're really close to the finish line on that one.
Awesome, guys. So we're going to be back obviously next Tuesday for Price Action Live, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be back later on today for After Hours at 4 p.m. Peter and I will be going over some macro things, some stuff that's been going on at Davos, some things that's been going on with the silver and gold market as well. If you guys are interested in macro themes, that's the show to watch. We want to thank you guys all for being here. Everyone in the chat, we really appreciate you. It's so much fun doing this with you guys day in and day out, and it makes working on TradersPost that much better. So thank you very much, and we wish you all happy trading.
Yep. Real quick here, the Cloth asks, this is interesting. Can you set hotkeys for that? We're working on the hotkeys. We're also going to work on a Electron version of this, which runs as a desktop app so that
Right.
you can grab hotkeys from it as well. And that would allow you to exit through TradersPost. You still have to send, all it's doing is sending webhook requests to TradersPost. So you can monitor your open positions on TradingView, but it's not going to send anything to TradingView. It's not going to modify anything on page there, if that makes sense.
Awesome. All right.
Cool,
Bye,
cool.
everyone.
All right. See y'all.